Adeshimama emobibia kwa basa mobiachi edeba agokansi dwumadie no so edu samria na agudie mu nsem ne de bro ewo bedwam dwumadie no so ensem ko twi ko brema wo agudie mu nsem bia no ye de ebebro se ekutukuo se ye mriketu se ye ball e de bebia de bebro ewo dwumadie so amohu se de esi etie migiri esa amachi ebi mu anda wa da eso no na se Ghana ne Chile akensi no wanya bia hwe na so Ghana go no eda ho a ene obenya bia hwe anopei ewo agokensi dwumadi ne so sa so na ye bekwa akwoche ensem foforo so asa piepie menra obetete ensem bibre se Ghana ye ne se biafo yenya problem kakra diplomatic relations no ya ade akwato achi tweet me say ye embassy wo Serbia atum omso de wo matum isanse ni Kosovo sense minti eno na bebe feel Serbia ebe kan plavi contract na se ne city de ho ensem be ba betudwa amon se de esi eti ho na fe Globe Premier League kwasi asante kotoko omabie mu eko Hearts for you omoden eno so ye nsem a ye de betu amon se de esi tie week 18 results no ye de bebro amon ewo agokensi dwumadie so sase ne kopie mu amanane a se do nim international friendly match se to dwa eno so ho a ye behwe eguo amahu se de esi etie ewo ho midin ede Adam eje Tony Adams me na midi dwumadie hu chiame ya ye de ebro amahu se de esi tie kwabe post production Prince wamo ebo dwuma FM pa ye saso na maso IT so tamechi na bia kwa ni mami ajada te hwe nsem na guo enti sabre de emre edem se de ebeguo amahu se de esi eti ewo eho Yabeshase area free the senior national team the Black Stars for no aso ene hu said the ensem ne esi etie ho ensem a eguso ekoso ye enra akansi Ghana ene Chile for etimi ebo ye na eno akansi etimi etodwa ewo PPL stadium ewo and as a PPL park ewo Philadelphia eho na akansi ne etimi ekotodwa ewo akansi no eba na wie na Ghana for etimi ene Chile for na akwati 1-1 ya ubie entimi eni nkunim abrantie friend Richard Impon ene share go no etimi edema Ghana ohwe sedi akansi ne esi ekowa na FP ye pass kodwa samoa ene Sule Ali Muntari ebo echiche pass ne ma na FP ye ansana Richard Impon efri right flank ya maka Ghana ene Mali Ghana ni Nigeria All Africa Games qualifier Kumasi Richard Impon ehye go fefe bi se ya otumi se okobo editu mu na FP ye na yenhwe wo mo esi akan no etimi edema Ghana for enra starting lineup na say na lineup ni si ekwa kwase ejinam enra 5 important saves na Adam Larson kwase wo ye na efe papa wa chesa mpa number 1 obekusu atimi ekrem John Pencil ebobi Masaudu Alasan eboy ema Daniel Pare ebe share na 9 saso na John Boy eso eboy ema Liadi ebe share na 9 Jonathan Mensah eboy Anthony na eboy ema Free Akwa ebe share na 9 Derebo Atsen eboy Kodwa Samoa eboy Sule Ali Muntari eboy ema Patrick Nyako ebe share na 9 Dominic Odro efrimu ema Richard Impon ebe share mo ebe share goma Impon so frimu ma Abdul Waris so ebe na fi Emmanuel Bafo womo ene eguso esi akan no edema the senior national team the Black Stars abro mtimini Chile for ebo 1-1 na go no amanfo so say apese twe bi Richard Impon go a wotimi ebo 2 mu ema bibia timi kwanti yenhwe said the go no SS koya bra Ghana ene Chile for eri akansi ne hihye so PPL park Philadelphia say ena esi ekoye said the akansi no esi eko ede ema awomo eho eno ensemo etimi ko ye etimi edemo amuti se ya na akansi ne esi kwa yeyi emo ahwe se de hu se Ghana abo mmodern Plavi akonya sa draw no ede aba players na amsu be shame no ye hwese ya be hye omon kran na bibia betimi akoye etimi dia ma the senior national team no eho ensemo etimi ebeto dwa sam ready ye wo Black Stars nsem na ye fa Plavi de so MP so na hu se de esi etie enra ensemble to jana ye ho ha is Ghana ni Serbia diplomatic rockers bia ababe to achwachu bia ababe to ultimi se de pay se Ghana ekwadwo anaso okwata se Serbia so kwadwo anaso okwata so omnyina sa media om Serbia fo so om ntia se Ghana age Kosovo for etimi atum ani ade ana ha adwen pay na Ghana coach so efri Serbia Goran Plavi Stevanovic na no be to dwa said ye must say wo Serbia atum wo so de wa so atum ninti na bebe feel say sa na tie de a ye mpe wo mo hwe no wo mpe hwe de a na wo ko jisu ye de wo mo ye de ne ye de ye be woni konsam na kɔ na no mpanifo de aba to dwa say da bi Ghana ni Serbia nsem na wo no Blasa coach on 5 hu bi kwakwakwakwanti ensem ne nya de bia ebetimi afoafo no ene ensem asambe de etimi aba to edwanti ye hwe Plavi si ye pam na ne body bon aso ninti ne ye pam no 2 weeks in the sooner see a pam Plavi and more demand so in your pam. And yes, a gun and Serbia and 70 and ya pam. Sana and penny 4% ubia, it me SN and so. A bra, any Plavi say Nawarian, a bit me a coso and I say, intimi and coso, ewo eho. Summary dear, it me ever queer nimniache, said ye and 70 AC echo, ewo na, and some for a bit me out to Atuja near a Globe Premier League, and send 7 ye dear to a more who said ye, AC etio, and now week 18 matches, no, it's me etoja, Nasa matches and air to Janona, a idea, hearts for sharing, so bit me a keep heating on Commercia Atlantic Kotoko, na Kotoko 40 sharing, so bit me a co anymore. Hearts in Kotoko, woman, 8 me, echo piemo, ewo. Adia etimi ekoye etimi edema wo mo has ekopie mu Lenkley Sports Stadium won ash go de boy wo mo lose 1-0 saso na kotoko ekopie mu Ajimambadu Park a won aduana ekotie na yenhwe se de dada results no so etimi ekoye eno ya kansi a enra etimi etodwa na yehun se de esi etie ho adwumadi etimi ekoso Globe Premier League no eno week 18 matches say that esi ekoye results ni biem ni aduana Stars 0 Kotoko 0 Bechem United 1 Bechem United Bechem Brekum Chelsea 1 Wild Stars 0 Sane Tiaj Gold 1 Hearts of Folk 0 Tema Youth 1 Wasaman United 1 Midiama Sporting Club 3 Edubia CFC 1 Afe Liberty 3 Draws so 1 na nyame adma ne so akansi ni mi so ebesa atodwa ne ehun sɛ de esi etie na sɛ ne nso se Kumasi Asante Kotoko sa adwumadi etimi ekɔsoma se aboa amomo etimi akɔ 38 points na Hearts 31 points na Brekum Chelsea tosome so 30 points which means say dey si kɔ ne de ade a emu ayɛ pa ye etimi ede ama across for comotwa ni say afi league na nka ombetimi age na bibia etimi akoye de amona so sa me say de nsem si kɔ de emu ayɛ pa ede ama across for kianhwe say de matches nyina ebesi etimi akɔ so asa etimi ede amomo ɛho Sabre yanku anim ne nkɔhwɛ say de enra FIFA international friendly matches and said you see a course so my BBT etodwa obeka Ghana edinka de atodwa saso na abetwe Chile no am na boy 1-1 na afi Argentina nra utimi di nkunim Lionel Messi why na adwuma ni bien wo se onim se ansa no beja abo de am Argentina no na Argentina for utimi age World Cup Lionel Messi ebo no mode Cristiano Ronaldo se so hwe anim se Portugal beji Euro 2012 ombo mode England etena fi Emma Holland etwa mo 3-2 Germany eso tena fi ma France etwa mo 2-1 akensi on yi ma hwe Joy Sports and Adom TV yenhwe the other highlights na ne de mabobo ho nsemi na se de siko enra abra FIFA international friendly matches etimi etodwa.
Out to silence their critics met at Wet Moses Mabhida Stadium as Bafana came up against Senegal. Coach Pitso Mosimane handed the heralded May Mahlangu a first start, and the Helsingborg midfielder should have repaid the faith shown in him by his coach. Bafana had more of the ball, but clear-cut chances were few and far between. They did, however, think they'd earned a penalty, but the appeals were waved away, much to the frustration of Mosimane. With the rain pelting down, Bafana's dominance continued into the second half. However, Katlego Mpela headed straight at Buna Kundu after a pinpoint Anele Ngonga cross. The Teranga Lions eventually created something substantial, as on the hour mark a tailing cross by Pape Suare was somehow fluffed by Demi Ndai. The game ebbed and flowed to its conclusion, and despite having more of the ball, Bafana once again failed to hit the target, as Teko Modise should have wrapped his laces around a superb Punch Masena Mela ball. The 0-0 draw was certainly not the outcome Mosimane was looking for.
Welcome along. Switzerland hosted an illustrious opponent on Wednesday as Argentina made the long trip to Bern. The South Americans have shown some indefinite form in World Cup qualifying, but they stamped their authority on this friendly in the 19th minute when Lionel Messi slotted. Switzerland failed to qualify for Euro 2012, though they'd only lost once in their previous 11 games. Otmar Hitzfeldt's young side levelled soon after the interval. Bayern Munich banned as old as the new Messi. However, it was the real one who stole stole the headlines. The Barcelona man put his side in front for a second time with a superb solo goal 2 minutes from the end. Might have been slightly flattering to Argentina, but that goal meant it finished 3-1.
Poland's new national stadium is complete and ready for Euro 2012, and he got his first outing when Portugal came to Warsaw. He almost nicked it for the home side, but again, a decent save from Patricio, capping a good...
Talismanic striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic put a 3-match domestic suspension behind him by scoring Sweden's opening goal in their 3-1 victory over fellow 2012 finalists Croatia in Zagreb. Homekeeper Stipa Pletikosa fouled Rasmus Elm. The home side were back on level terms just before the break, though. It won't be a goal Jonas Olsson wants to see again, as the West Bromwich Albion defender sent nationals against Croatia, but looked good to reverse the form book when Sebastian Larsson put them back in front a minute into the second half. And the Sunderland man made the game safe midway through that half. Ibrahimovic with the assist, and Larsson with the cool finish. 3-1, Sweden sending a warning shot to Group D rivals England and France.
Costa Rica scored after only 6 minutes when Arsenal youngster Joel Campbell played a 1-2 with Fulham's Brian Ruiz.
Well, that is not the start to the night that Wales wanted.
Campbell's been on a season-long loan at French club Lorient. Wales came close to equalising just before half-time, the header from Norwich striker Steve Morrison. Speed's family remain passionate about...
Chelsea man Gary Cahill wasn't able to steer his early chance on target, and at the other end, Arjen Robben tried to beat Hart from a close angle. A weaving run ensued from Adam Johnson. His strike, though, flashed across the face of the Dutch goal. Deadlocked at the break, the game sparked a further life in a remarkable second period. Robben produced a darting run that stemmed from inside his own half, and having cut across the England defence, was able to beat England's despairing #1.
If you think Arjen Robben is a declining force, think again.
England were then staring down the barrel at 2 down, and the collision of minds had left both Klaas-Jan Huntelaar and Chris Smalling in serious discomfort.
Well, it looks as though he's been maybe knocked out, not knowing that he scored.
England had been at 6s and 7s for much of the game, and especially in front of goal. But they were able to breathe new life into the closing stages at Wembley. Cahill, who was fractionally ahead of the last defender, following a neat through ball from Leighton Baines, screwed a shot through Martin Stecklenburg from close range. And then Theo Walcott touched the ball onto Phil Jones, who split the defence with a terrific first-time through pass.
And Ashley Young's in here and equalises. England certainly not finished.
But the Flying Dutchman came back with that man Robben sealing an enthralling win by 3-2, which confined England to their first defeat since 2010.
Arjen Robben, the magician again. A crazy ending, really.
The 2004 European champions Greece hosted Belgium in Iraklio, the capital of Crete, an island famed for the locals' love of pyrotechnics and a decent scrap. Sadly, the locals left a little bit short of fireworks in this one. Greece, who qualified well for Euro 2012, had the exciting Eden Hazard pulling the strings, and it was his corner just after the half-hour which produced the equaliser. This time Greece opting not to defend, Nasser Chadli heading home. There were no more goals. The only major excitement, a rather harsh red card for Nick. Well, let's hear from the French coach Laurent Blanc. He says to get away with a win in Germany is always tough. For the match, I said that whatever the issues, we were still at work. We've got to try and improve game by game, and we had a very strong opponent today. We're used to being told that much more is expected from this team. That's been the case for the past few months. But I can clearly say that I'm very satisfied with the performance of the players tonight.
Arjen Robben gave the Netherlands a thrilling 3-2 victory over England at Wembley. France stretched their unbeaten run to 18 matches with an impressive 2-1 win against Germany in Bremen. Roberto Soldado netted a hat-trick as Spain thrashed 10-man Venezuela 5-0, while United States boss Jurgen Klinsmann celebrated his first ever win over Italy as his Chargers upset Italy 1-0. And on an emotionalising Cardiff, Wales fell 1-0 to Costa Rica in the Gary Speed Memorial match.
Eno FIFA international friendly matches na yede to dwama hu se de si ekọ no Messi also obedi dwumade no so chase ekọ Italy for etna ma US for chom ka ba ko mo antimi anti nenra akansie na ekọ koso na akansie ba ko Wales ene Costa Rica akansie ni akansie bia na ye bo e de ahye omformer manager yeah ono efa ono ane kwa Gary Speed committee suicide ultimately last November 2011 na ade a ultimately say no mo body ahye na nimonyam ne no na enra wo hwe se de na stadium city a nipa bebre ne kopie mu wa na te se wo mo je se wo mo kɔ na te se de be ya match aye bo ade ahye Gary Speed nimonyam no wo so atimi akɔ wo mo akopie om last respect wo hwe Gary Speed ma edi hobby no wo mo ekɔ na skip odi animo no Craig Bellamy na woni Gary Speed ma mienu no ejina ma bibia etimi kotim se na yade a are ho papa ewo abra na Wolves for wo Millennium Stadium wo mo ne Costa Rica for the akensi no ehye so wo hwe Gary Speed ma no na ye hye ma bibia etimi kotim we match a wo mo bo de share Gary Speed enimonyam ti nipa pempem ene kopie mu ho anate Millennium Stadium Cardiff na bibia timi ekɔ animu de ma Gary Speed nti samre de me say obi apay no respect ye be say Nyankopɔ so be pe baby pa de to de Gary Speed ato ene ensem a samre de etimi aba beto eja ɛwɔ ɛhɔ ye kɔ animu no na ye nhwɛ papa ye frɛ no Jose Mourinho ne ho nsɛm de ade achi ade sen cho na say de wa ma England ayehu coaches ni bi ho po na akopie mu a akopie mu London na London no akopie mu no o hwe edan e wo ho na man for papa wo mu wo Real Madrid o coachi Madrid na London de oba be pe dan wa yeden ene na bebriye ya atwe se wa hwe a na Andre Villas-Boas ni dwumadi ne ya be wonu konsan na papa Jose Mourinho wo so unfinished business bi e wo Chelsea oba be to aso enti no amaman for coaches ni bi aya ehu dia mo e na Tottenham Hotspur so patches da bi yesu enya na yepe isan se wan hwe na England for edi dwumadi ama Harry Redknapp ne yom be fa no edi 3 Lions for team yi ma no a ne yeso hwan ne beba be continue Harry Redknapp dwumadi papa no enu ti ama se de Jose Mourinho Tottenham for se ho mo so enya ne da ewo abra ba be pie mu ewo England ana se London ya ope baabi obetimi de fie ewo ho na se de coach pa wo show o London ne ho popo said ye bibia enkoye ma no Andre Villas-Boas yo Chelsea manager wona suro pa isan se Jose Mourinho eba bepe efie Orlando de wan hwa na ni tiri ene keka nti okopie mu na wona fan ba ko o hye pisho mu twa no wona na mo ope edan no Jose Mourinho o ha dwene papa e be said ye sa ensem no ebisi etimi akọ ho yina oguso e de bro e wa agokensie so maka che se edu anopa bia o hwe bedwam no koso hwe bedwam edu agokensie so dia prepare na be twese as 7 minutes baby ewo bia ye de be ba amohu se de esite ewo agokansie dwumadie no eso ewo ho samre de eyese ekopie mu ewo ba na ye twese de sa akansie esi ekọ no ye ATP World Tour 500 series na etudwa ewo Dubai United Arab Emirates and on ensem na ye de tudwa amohu se de esi etia ye nhwe se de players ne eguso tennis players ne ebo model.
Tennis now, and world number 1 Novak Djokovic is safely through to the last 8 of the Dubai Championships after a straight sets win over the Ukrainian Sergei Stakovsky. Wasn't completely straightforward for the Serb, who's looking to equal Roger Federer's achievement of 4 successive titles in Dubai. The defending champion had to wait until game 11 just to threaten the world number 74's service. The first set went all the way to a tiebreak, which Djokovic came through to take 7-5. Stakovsky broke early in the second set, but back-to-back breaks from Djokovic gave him the advantage, and he completed a hard-fought 7-6, 6-3 win in 90 minutes, closing out the match with an ace.
Yeah, I mean, service games were well played, and I was keeping my composure on the serve. I had I think, good percentage in first serves. And in the first set it was really difficult to return for both of us. I mean, he was using his serve really well, and the conditions were a bit faster, obviously, during the day. But when I needed to play well, I did. I used my chances when they were presented.
A good workout match for Djokovic, who will now face compatriot Janko Tipsarevic, who came from behind to beat the Italian Flavio Cipolla.
Well, Roger Federer is also through to the last 8 after a 10th successive win over Feliciano Lopez. The Swiss maestro tested his opponent from the baseline throughout. One break of serve was enough to take the first set, and the level of tennis was just as high in the second. Both men serving strongly, and the former world number 1's pinpoint ground strokes were a constant threat The service-breaking game 8 allowed Federer to serve for the match, and this superb rally epitomised the quality of their encounter. The number 2 seed eventually sealed a 7-5, 6-3 win as he served out to love. The win sets up a quarter-final clash with Mikhail Yuzhny, who's also yet to beat him.
Well, number 4 Andy Murray remains on course to meet Djokovic in the semi-finals. The Scot wasted little time in disposing of Marco Chiodinelli, 6-3, 6-4. Murray had struggled in the first round against German qualifier Michael Berrer. That was his first match since losing to Djokovic in the semis of the Australian Open. But he looked much more the part this time around as he finished off the Swiss number 3 in 1 hour 23 minutes. Murray will play Thomas Berdych in the quarterfinals. He knocked out Lukas Latsko.
Jo-Wilfried Tsonga sent down 10 aces as he won the final match of the day against Lucas Rosol. Tsonga celebrated reaching a career high number 5 in the world earlier this week and twice broke the Czech player early in the first set to race into a 5-love lead. The Frenchman, who took the title in Qatar last month, was temporarily pegged back by Rosol before bagging the set 6-3. And his fine form was in evidence again in the second as he wrapped up a 6-3, 6-4 win in 68 minutes by Martin Del Potro up next.
Eno ATP World Tour 500 Series to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Ene egusu eko last year you do Abrantia Roger Federer Novak Djokovic and the Murray su you be say the bisi akọ e won sense dina ye de bebro agokensi dwumedie no so Sam radio na say agokensi na ye de eba na wia mo hu say de esi etie ho na hye ne so say Ghana and Chile akensi ne say de esi etie no wo mo abo mo moden ya emrantie no yembo mo abaso AFCON 2012 and yema hye da anko ya fa ma Gabon and Equatorial Guinea na Sam radio mo so mo hyase Robert de no na ya hyase ti yemo ye mo de na bibia ntim koye emfama team no enti yeso yebo mo abaso Richard Mpon while making a debut was the first goal. You said the name of Besiako Yedia, but no soon Yegina near the end. I can see you made you see. Kwame, post production, Wajuma, Maswell, and it will be a sound, George, Yakramo, Yankupoya Aduma, Echnebeshi. I'm sorry to you, a Kaba, Edim Pensen Pensemu, and a bro. We did the Adam Ej, Tony Adams, Echina, Yebishia.
Dan asase bani o lokosopino entam kase kan beduasa asansu